I've been friends with this girl for years, and then all of a sudden she goes and gets some husband, and now he's telling her that she can't see me. She's not allowed to hang out with me anymore, and I think it's ridiculous. I'm gonna do something that is probably a bad idea, but I decide to tell her husband this. I'm 32. I think I'm losing my best friend. She's 37 after her marriage, and I'm freaking out. I need advice ASAP. Okay guys, I'm sitting here at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm drinking probably my 5th cup of coffee, and I'm about to lose my mind. I never thought that I'd be the guy pouring his heart out on the internet, but here we are. This is going to be a long one, so grab a snack or something. So, there's this girl Susie. We've been best friends since 2015. And when I say best friends, I mean the kind of friendship you see in those cheesy sitcoms, you know? The ones where you're like, that's not realistic. People don't actually have friendships like that. Well, we did, or at least I thought that we did. Let me paint you a picture. So, imagine meeting someone at a random house party. Yeah, that's how we met. And within an hour, you're finishing each other's sentences. Well, fast forward to a few months, and you're planning your first international trip together. Cut to a few years later, and you're visiting 14 countries together, seeing each other through job losses, family deaths, and oh yeah, survived a global pandemic, no big deal, as roommates. So, during COVID, we were stuck in our tiny 2-bedroom apartment for months. You'd think that we would be at each other's throats, right? No, we turned it into our own little world, and we had theme nights. Taco Tuesday was sacred. We were binge-watching every show on Netflix, yes, even Tiger King, and even started our own little mini indoor garden. Rest in peace to all the basil plants we killed. Ugh. We had this running joke about how we were basically in a platonic marriage. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why did we never date? Well, for one, we came from very different religious backgrounds. I'm talking oil and water different. Plus, there was never that spark. You know, we were comfortable in our friendship and neither of us wanted to rock the boat. So life goes on. In 2021, I started dating this girl, Emma, and here's where I messed up royally. I kept it a secret from Susie for a few months. Why? Honestly, I'm not even sure. Part of it was that I was really focused on my career at the time. I had just gotten a promotion at work and was drowning in work. Part of it was just enjoying the honeymoon phase without any outside input. And yeah, a tiny part of me was worried about how it would change things with Susie. When I finally told her, she was hurt. Like really, really hurt. I still remember her face. It was like I betrayed her or something. She didn't speak to me for a week, which was the longest we would go without talking since we met. When she finally came around, she said that she understood, but things were different. There was this underlying tension that had not been there before. But being Susie, she made an effort, and soon the three of us, me, Emma, and Susie, were hanging out regularly. We'd have these game nights, go to trivia at the local bar, and try out new restaurants. It wasn't the same as before, but it was good. Different, but good. Then 2023 hit, and everything went to hell in a handbasket. Susie, she met this guy on some dating app. I never think those things are a good idea. Well, let's call him Jake. Now, Susie has been on her fair share of dates over the years, but nothing ever stuck. She'd always say that she was too picky, that she was waiting for her perfect match, and, well, apparently Jake was it. They met 3 times, and then they were engaged. I was floored. 3 times? This was not the Susie I knew. The Susie I knew overthought everything. She once spent 2 weeks deciding on a new coffee maker, but suddenly she's ready to commit her life to someone after 3 dates. It did not add up. At first, Jake seemed perfect, and I mean too perfect. He was into all the same things Susie was, and he loved cooking exotic cuisines. That is Susie's passion. He was into obscure indie bands. That's also Susie's jam. And he even claimed to love the same weird Polish art house films that Susie was obsessed with. It was like he studied a manual on how to be Susie's perfect man. As the wedding approached, I tried to be supportive. I helped with planning, and I listened to Susie gush about Jake. I even organized her bachelorette party, which, by the way, was epic, but that's a story for another time. But I could not shake this feeling that something was off. I started noticing little things like how Jake would zone out when Susie talked about her favorite books, or how he'd make faces at certain foods that he claimed to love. It was subtle, but it was there. I made the mistake of mentioning it to Emma, and she accused me of being jealous, said that I was trying to sabotage Susie's happiness, and we had a huge fight about it. Looking back, maybe she was right. Maybe I was jealous, not romantically, but of losing my best friend. The wedding came and went, and it was beautiful, sure, but there was this undercurrent of something. I could not put my finger on it, and Susie seemed happy. But there were moments when I'd catch her looking uncertain, scared, I don't know. After the wedding, I decided to take a step back. I'd read all these posts online about how newlyweds need space to build their life together. So I stopped texting Susie as much as I used to. I even declined a few invitations to hang out, and I thought I was doing the right thing. Boy, was I wrong. I was really, really wrong. About a month after the wedding, Susie called me in tears, and Jake had given her an ultimatum that she had to cut me out of her life. Apparently, he was not comfortable with her having such a close male friend. She was torn, asking me what she should do. What could I say? I told her I would respect whatever decision she made. I meant it, but goodness gracious, it hurt. That's when she dropped the bomb. Jake had lied about, pretty much everything. All those shared interests fabricated. He did not actually like cooking. He was ordering takeout and pretending that he made it. He could not name a single song by those so-called indie bands that he claimed to love so much. And the Polish film? He'd fall asleep every time they tried to watch one. I was pretty furious. I wanted to confront Jake, to call him out on his bogus bullcrap. But Susie begged me not to. She said that she was trying to make it work, that maybe they could find new shared interest. I felt hopeless. Absolutely helpless. I tried to include Jake in our hangouts, thinking maybe if he got to know me, he would be less threatened. But it always ended up in disaster. There was this one time when Emma, we were still together at this point, Emma and I organized a surprise party for Susie. Jake was so mad that we did not consult him on it. Dude, come on. It's a surprise party. The whole point is that people don't know about it. Duh. Things just kept getting worse. Jake started monitoring Susie's phone, questioning her every time we texted, and our hangouts became less and less frequent. When we did meet, Jake was always there, hovering, making everybody super uncomfortable. And then, because the universe has a sick sense of humor, my own life imploded. Emma and I broke up. It was not pretty. There were accusations thrown around, ugly truths revealed, and I was a mess. On top of that, some health issues I've been ignoring came back with a vengeance. I'm talking hospital visits, endless tests, the works. And just to put a cherry on top of this crap Sunday, my dad got diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. I retreated. Hard. I stopped going out, stopped answering messages. I was drowning in my own problems, and I did not have the energy to deal with anyone else. When I finally came up for air, months had passed, and I reached out to Susie, desperate for some normalcy, but things had changed. She was distant, she was guarded, and we met for coffee. And it was like sitting across from a stranger. She told me that Jake thought I was a bad influence, that I only reached out when I needed something. I was stunned. This wasn't us. We'd always been there for each other through thick and thin, and now suddenly I'm the bad guy because I'm going through a rough patch in life? I tried to explain to her. I tried to apologize for just disappearing, but it felt like talking to a wall. The Susie I knew, the one who could read me like a book, was gone. In her place was this nervous, jumpy woman who kept checking her phone and making excuses to leave early. That was 3 weeks ago, and since then, radio silence. I've texted, I've called, I've even sent a handwritten letter. Yeah, I know, super old school, but I was desperate. Nothing. Radio silence. At this point, guys, I'm feeling lost. I feel like I'm mourning the death of a friendship, but the person is still alive. I keep replaying every single thing in my head, wondering where I went wrong. Should I have been more supportive of her relationship from the start? Was I too self-absorbed with my own problems? Did I unknowingly do something to make Jeff feel threatened? I can't sleep. I can't focus at work. I keep having these vivid dreams where Susie and I are back in our old apartment during lockdown, laughing and planning our next adventure. Then I wake up and remember that those days are gone, and it feels like someone's punched me in the stomach. I'm honestly worried about her. Jake's behavior screams emotional abuse to me, but I'm just seeing what I want to see maybe? I don't know, am I the toxic one here? I don't know what to do, guys. I mean, part of me wants to go full rom-con and just show up at her door with a boombox on my shoulder, blasting our favorite songs. Another part wants to respect her silence and just let her go. And yet another part is tempted to reach out to Jake directly, to try to clear the air, and I'm scared that if I do nothing, I will lose her forever. But I'm equally scared that if I push her hard, I will drive her further away. How do you mourn a friendship that's not quite dead? How do you help someone who might not want your help? How do you let go of someone who's been your other half for nearly a decade? I'm sitting here surrounded by mementos of our friendship, photos from our trips, inside joke gifts, even the stupid cactus that we bought during our plant phase. Yeah. Somehow it's only one that survived. Each one feels like a knife to the heart. Guys, at this point, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna beg you. What do I do? Do I fix this somehow, and if so, how? Or do I just accept that some things can't be fixed? I'm definitely losing my mind if I'm even going to say that. Any advice or similar experiences in this playing field, hell, even just the virtual hand 5, would be appreciated right now. If you've made it this far, thank you. Seriously, I know this was a novel, but I'm desperate here. Edit number 1. Holy crap, this blew up. I'm overwhelmed by all the responses, and I'm trying to read every single comment, and yes, I will respond as soon as I can. Thank you for the support and advice. I am a mess. But knowing I'm not alone, it does help me feel better. Edit 2. To those asking, yes, I've considered that I might have feelings for Susie. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I've spent the last few hours soul-searching, and honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's all just so confusing right now. I do know that I miss her as a friend more than anything, and I'm going to take some time to really think about this before I do anything. Thanks for making me confront this possibility. Edit 3. Okay, wow. I just got a text from Susie, and all it says is, "Can we talk?" I'm freaking out. I mean, what do I do? What do I say? Should I wait to respond? Respond right away? I'm shaking as I type this. Please, advice would be great. What's up, everybody? So there was an update for today's story, but it was very, very short. I'm talking one paragraph, but inside of this paragraph is action-packed with what OP decided to do. So we're going to check out the first update and the final update, and then we're going to look at some comments. Guys, I really want to know your opinion of this next update, because when I get done reading it, you'll know why. Here it is, update number 1. So I talked to her, guys, and it is not pretty. She told me that she misses me, but she's happy with her new love. She admits that she realizes that he lied to her about their shared hobbies and interests, but he is everything she always wanted in a man, apparently. Well, at that point, I tried to just blurt out my feelings to her, but guys, this is where it all went downhill. She tells me that she always felt like I had a big crush on her, and she never really knew how to let me down easy, her exact words. But she's not into me like that, apparently. But I still think this is her stupid husband, Jake's idea in her mind. I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling lost at this point. I contacted my job and asked to be moved to another branch. Yeah, it's about that time, because I just want to get away from her and everything in this town, but when I text her and told her that I'll be leaving, she begged me not to. She's giving me mixed feelings, guys, and I seriously don't know how to take this, but I finally accepted. Maybe, just maybe, we need to create some space between us. I mean, what would you do? Comment number 1. Dude, wake up. This Jake guy is waving more red flags than a parade. Your friend is in an abusive relationship, full stop. You need to stage an intervention ASAP. Gather her family and her friends and anyone who cares about her. Show her the evidence of all Jake's lies, controlling behavior. Don't let her throw away 8 years of a friendship for some manipulative jerk that she barely knows. You have a responsibility as her best friend to save her from this toxic marriage. Comment number 2. Wow, way to jump to conclusions. We're only hearing one side of the story here. OP admits he disappeared for months and only reached out when he needed something. For all we know, he's the toxic one in this situation. Jake might be protecting his wife from a quote friend who's clearly got some unresolved feelings. OP needs to back off and let this couple figure out their own marriage without his interference. Not every husband who's uncomfortable with his wife's male friend is abusive. Comment number 3. Are you kidding me? Did you even read the post? Jake lied about his entire personality to trick Susie into marrying him. He's isolating her from her friends and monitoring her phone. That's textbook emotional abuse. OP's behavior is not perfect, sure, but he's not the only one giving ultimatums and destroying Susie's support system. Staying silent in the face of abuse makes you complicit. OP needs to step up and help his friend out before it's too late. Comment 4. Oh please, spare me the drama. People exaggerate and put their best foot forward when dating all the time. It's not abuse, it's human nature. And maybe Jake has a good reason to not trust OP. This whole post just reeks of jealousy and possessiveness. OP needs to respect boundaries and accept that his friend is married now. Friendships change, people grow apart, it's part of life. Encouraging OP to interfere in a marriage based on his biased account is irresponsible and potentially harmful. Alright guys, I want to know what you would do. Let me know which comment you think gave the best advice and, well, just drop it down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for daily videos because there's going to be so many more juicy stories coming out. Have a great day, I'll see you tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.